2023 number 1 overall pick Paul Skenes made his MLB debut on Saturday, in front of a very excited Pirates crowd. Many were calling it the most hyped pitching debut since Stephen Strasburg all the way back in 2010. I can't say I blame people for thinking that. His fastball averages around 100 miles an hour, and he has a large array of off-speed stuff to complement it. However, when you look at the box score from his debut, you'd likely come away thinking it wasn't very good. 3 earned runs in 4 innings of work, which gives him a 6.75 ERA. That sounds rough, but it tells a much different story than for those who actually watched the game. I wouldn't say Skenes was on his A game, and his fastball control seemed to be a bit off. However, he did strike out 7 batters in just 4 innings of work, and his splinker, which is a combo splitter sinker that sits around 95 miles an hour, felt unhittable. He loaded the bases with 1 out in the 2nd inning, but got out of the jam with 0 runs scored. A lot of pitchers would have buckled under that pressure and lost the game right there, but he didn't. His worst moment was probably a home run surrendered to Nico Hoerner in the 4th inning, but he also struck out 3 in that frame. In the 5th, he gave up a double, followed by an infield single, and with runners on 1st and 2nd and having thrown 84 pitches, he exited the game. He was replaced by reliever Kyle Nicolas, and this is when all hell broke loose. But before we get into how the bullpen ruined Skenes' debut, think about subscribing. 96% of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so if you watched it before and enjoy the content, drop a sub and comment down below. It really helps the channel. So, at the time Skenes was pulled, he had given up 1 run, struck out 7, and had an ERA of 2.25. But then, Nicolas replaced him. He struck out the first 2 batters that he faced, then everything fell apart for the Pirates. The sequence that followed was a hit by pitch, a 4-pitch walk, a 4-pitch walk, and another 4-pitch walk. Skenes had to stand in the dugout, watch his runner get walked in, and his ERA ballooned to 6.75 as the Pirates led 6-4 with the bases loaded for the Cubs. After that stretch, Nicolas was pulled and replaced by Josh Fleming. Then we had a 5-pitch walk and a single that tied the score at 6 before we hit a rain delay. Once the delay ended, we resumed to a 4-pitch walk and a 5-pitch walk before the inning finally ended. When Skenes exited, the Pirates led 6-1. By the time the next inning was over, they were down 6-8. It was insane, and the bullpen not only ruined Skenes' debut, but should have lost the team the game. However, by some miracle, the Pirates did pull it out, 10-9, and walked away with a victory. But let's get back into Skenes. The eye test told me that this was an impressive debut. He had the most 100-mile-an-hour pitches in the first 2 innings of a game by any pitcher this season, blowing the former record of 8 out of the water by throwing 16 himself. The former record was held by his teammate Jared Jones, who is looking like an elite young starter in his own right. Skenes' fastball was straight gas, and the splinker was essentially unhittable. Jeff Passan, who has likely forgotten more about baseball than I'll ever know, summed it up like this: Paul Skenes' splinker is nasty. It's one thing to average 100 miles an hour with a 4-seamer. To pair that with a 95-mile-an-hour hybrid with crazy vertical movement is borderline unfair. And Skenes uses it both as a strikeout pitch and to steal strikes early in the count. Passan is right, the pitch is nasty, and pairing it with the fastball almost feels unfair. He struck out 7 batters in 4 innings, giving him a 15.75 K per 9. So if you watched the game, you likely came away thinking that Skenes is legit, but are there any stats that would back this up? His ERA, like we said, wasn't good at 6.75. Oftentimes you look at FIP, fielding independent pitching, to get an idea of what the performance actually was without potential teammate mistakes. His FIP wasn't excellent either at 5.16. However, his expected FIP was just 2.96, meaning that metrics projected it to be much lower than it actually ended. His 2.96 xFIP would rank 14th among qualified starters this season. In a league with 30 teams, that means he performed at an ace pitcher level. I don't think ERA or FIP tell the full story, but xFIP gives us a better idea of what the game should have actually looked like, before we saw 6 walks in the bullpen in the same inning he was replaced. Don't just read the box score, it doesn't do things justice. Watch the games and look deeper at statistics, and you can get a better picture of what happened, which is that Paul Skenes had a very impressive debut. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.